scale, then you start to see areas where bends are almost built in. And one would be, and I usually start students out on, if we're in A minor, the third string, being that you're playing the first note C with your index, you're playing the note D on the 7th fret with your third finger. You've got a perfect area right there to bend, and that's probably one of the most popular areas to bend because it's close to the root being A. So what we would do is bend right here on the 7th fret. Push the note up, hold it, add vibrato. You could also do what I call the flip. The flip is a bend, a return, and a pull off and a land. There's a lot happening in that little flip. There's many ways you can do the flip. You can bend up to the top and release from the top and flip down, or you can let it come down, or you can do any variation in between. It's all up to you. Through how you bend a string and how I bend a string. I like to use all my fingers. Any finger that's behind the finger I'm going to bend. Remember, you can bend with your pinky, you can bend with your third finger, your middle, or your index. It's funny, but I've been playing a long time, but I haven't really started to bend with my index until probably in the last 6 months. When I watch students do it, usually incorrectly, then I correct them, and it's like, well, I'll try that technique too. It's actually a pretty cool technique. It's hard to bend a full step with your first finger. You can do it, but it's really made for maybe a little accent. Like if I do those same 3 notes, if I play A, C, and D, and I come back to the C, if I play A, D, if I play A, C, and D. And I want to come back to C and add a little bend to it with my first finger. So I'll play A, C, D. I didn't bend the full step, but it was enough. If you play a little quicker, it makes more sense. That little bend, like a quarter step bend. In my opinion, your strongest finger is your second finger. However, the strongest bending finger is probably your third finger. So let's look at that one, and this is how I do it. I'll take you through the process. Number one, when I land, let's say I want to bend the D in A minor pentatonic on the third string. I put my third finger obviously there on the 7th fret because that's D. I put both my first and second finger behind my third, and I crowd, when I say crowd the fret, I actually have 2 fingers on the fret, my second and third, my first finger being right behind the second, and then I can easily push the note up. And it's easier to add vibrato. Now, so I push up with all 3 fingers. I strike the strings. Another thing I do when I strike the strings, I don't care how many strings I strike, because I've got them all muted. But I mute all strings, so that when I strike the strings, every string is clicked except for that D note. That's the only note sounding. Everything else is a click. That means they're muted. Now, do you hear the click when I strike the strings? Of course you do. But that only adds to the power of the bend. If I strike that note, you're hearing the clicks as I strike the note. And that just adds to the initial attack of the bend. And then once you push the string up, then you're getting the sound of the string.